Life doesn't move at the speed of your goals. It moves at the speed of your beliefs. So today we're going to talk. I'm here, Sheena and Mishelle, and we're going to talk about what is that area of your life, whether it's career, relationships, finance, health. What is it that you want to level up? And a lot of times, and actually all of the time, it has to do with your beliefs and where you believe you're going to go. So let's really dive in today. We've been waiting all week for this special guest, and let's just introduce him now. Let's go.
I
Welcome,
love it.
Derek. The
It's
no
me.
other than my husband. He is our special guest. And actually, we have a
Surprise.
funny story all week, and Mishelle too. We've been posting on stories like we have a special guest coming. We have a special guest. It's very exciting. And today I'm talking to Derek. I'm like, yeah, it's our special guest day. And what did you say, babe?
I'm like, that's amazing. You guys have a special guest already. It's been 1 week. You're really picking up steam. And Sheena's like, you're the special guest. And I was like, oh, that's amazing too. That's even better, actually. I get to participate. I love it. I love it.
I love the encouragement though from your for your end.
Oh, yeah. Here we
Well,
go.
you are the special guest. It's exciting to have you. You know, I know most of our audience is women and usually like moms that are kind of overloaded, their schedule's full with kids' sports and activities and working, and they're just trying to get off the hamster wheel. And I know that that's a lot of women that are watching here, but just Derek, we've kind of been on a journey in the last couple of years with having a proper mindset. And there was few things, not even, I wouldn't even say a few things, a lot of things were like, why isn't this working out? And to be honest, we did have a wrong mindset in certain areas or an improper mindset. And it's hard
Mm.
to make that momentum or make those choices if you're not actually thinking in the positive direction. And I have to attribute you to a lot of that, babe. You're so positive and so just encouraging. And it's done a lot. I feel like I've released a lot of damage or reprogram those neural pathways. And so I'm glad that we get to do this together. And then, of course, Mishelle, she's like the powerhouse of mindset, and we just love it so much. So, yeah, we're glad to have you. And we know that you have a lot to contribute to this conversation. But what's kind of one of the biggest things that you have a mentorship group? What is one of the biggest things that you find, even with young people? And what you would, I know we talk about this a lot, like something that we would have wanted to know, even in our early 20s, even teenage years. I mean, we're starting with our kids. That has to do with mindset. Can you, yeah, give us some of that, Derek?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, especially with us, you and me, Sheen, especially knowing our history, obviously. I think when we were growing up, we thought life happens to you and not that you can happen to life, basically. So we thought that where we were, where we lived, the friends we had, the family we had, everything was kind of like set in stone. This is your life. And it's only when something amazing happens to you, like people often do, look, go out and get a lottery ticket and hope that a lottery ticket will change their life, and life will become good. But if you actually the thing we've realized, and this is obviously through studying a lot of the Bible and just taking in a lot of understanding of how God designed us, it's that, life it can be changed, and it can be changed through your thoughts and, faith, right? Having faith to believe for a better life, or having faith to believe that things will be, uh, can become really amazing in your life by just moving in the right direction, but starting with getting your thoughts going in the right direction, because that's where everything happens. When someone builds, I'm in construction, one of our companies, when you build a building, that building is built inside of somebody's mind before it ever comes into the natural world. And it's the same with your life and your goals and everything you ever want to do. It has to start in your mind somewhere. Somebody has to have that imagination
They
to
have to
create.
conceptualize it in their mind before they can put it to paper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, you've told me that one before, and it still gives me goosebumps. It's so true. Like everything that we see in our physical world was thought in our thoughts and then brought forth. And one other Bible verse and one other concept that we talk about a lot is that God spoke the world into existence with words.
Mhm.
And
Hmm.
so we can also speak our existence into the world with words. Um, yeah, Michelle,
Absolutely. There's
it's,
one thing. Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, dive in.
Well, there's just one thing that comes up for me is there's a phrase that or a principle that I've been taught, and it's everything after I am creates. And it's this idea that you can create your reality through the spoken word, through your language. The words you speak become the house you live in, and that's a common quote that I repeat to myself over and over again. It's something that I teach to not only my clients, but when I'm out speaking. But it's just a great metaphor to just recognize that truly, just like you were saying, Derek, that you're building that foundation and you're doing that through your thought process. And when you think about your results, it all starts first from the thought, because then your thoughts direct your feelings direct your actions, then actions create your results. And for so much of my life, I just thought that, oh, these are my thoughts and I'm a
Did you
victim to
think that
them.
life like happens to you too? Like, oh, life just kind of
Yeah,
happens
well,
to you.
it's just going to happen
Yeah.
to me and I'm going to be the victim to it.
Yeah.
And oh, woe is me. And I never really realized that I had the power to choose. And that's that profound moment that we were just talking about before here, where we were kind of laughing about it. But it is a profound moment that when you recognize your own power and your ability to create the life that you want, that there's a profoundness in that. I just got goosebumps saying that out loud.
I know. I
And
love
that's how it
listening
was
to you.
designed, and that's how God made it to be, and to give us that power of choice. So that's what I would say about that.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely. And again, oh, sorry, go ahead, Sheena.
Have you ever heard of Joyce Meyer?
Yes.
Yeah, she has this one phrase, and it comes to mind all the time. Where this lady's like, "Listen, Joyce, you just don't understand. Life just drove over me. I got run over by a bus." And Joyce is like, "Well, get up, sister, and you start driving that bus." And I think it's funny to me because I get like a visual of someone just getting pancaked by a bus, and
Yeah,
you gotta get on and start driving. Yeah, so yeah, you gotta drive that bus. You can do
You
it,
got to drive that bus,
even
but
if
it's
you've
that
been
that's
hit.
the
We've all been
mindset.
hit. We've all been pancaked, but you can get up. You can do it. Yeah.
yeah. And I think the thing too is back, when we were younger, when it came to this mindset stuff and positive thinking, I don't know if it was because of the way I grew up or whatever, but there was this belief inside me that that was all kind of like nonsense, like didn't really wasn't true, wasn't really like positive speaking, all these guys. It was just motivation doesn't move the needle. But then I, had the revelation. It's like, well, actually all these positive speakers, like God is the original positive speaker, and he's the one they're getting their ideas from, the
He's
things
the
that actually
OG,
work.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, for anybody who thinks like, oh, this is not going to work for me, it's going to work for you. You know what I mean? It's worked for us. And we came from like probably a zero on the mindset to way over the other side. So, yeah.
Yeah, and there's scientific proof now that it works. It does work. I mean,
Mhm.
your brain is hard, your thoughts are hardwired, your belief systems are hardwired. And we talked about this last time. 95% of that is subconscious.
It's just
And
wild.
and it's wild, right? I keep thinking about that
That
too. And
number's too high. Like I hate that it's so high.
it's so high. And there's still so much that we don't even know, we don't know that we don't know.
Mhm.
Because it's still just automatically processed that we just picked up from somewhere. We thought that was, we started thinking that became our thinking, it became our hardwiring, and then we started living our life that way. But you can actually create a new pathway in your brain through repetition. That's neuroplasticity, and it's a real
You
thing. So
nailed it.
even
It was
though
great.
and even though
Nailed
you
it.
feel, oh, thank you. I'm like, I just got my teeth worked on. I'm like, do I have a lisp? And it's like, you absolutely can change your life through spoken word and through repetition, which I know again, it sounds frou-frou, it sounds silly, like, oh, you're
Mhm.
telling me just to repeat myself over and over again. And I think people think that we're gonna stand in front of a mirror and you're gonna say, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself until you like yourself. But actually, you're just creating a new pathway in
Mhm.
your brain, almost like when you walk a trail and you walk it over and over again. And at first, it's really
Yeah.
foresty and it's really hard to get through. But then eventually you have this beautiful trail and the trail opens up and it's very clear. And that's what you're doing by building that repetition. So it's about having that new chosen thought, recognizing what has come to me that was inherited, or maybe I picked up by watching and learning,
Mhm.
or what is actually now my new chosen thoughts? What are my new chosen beliefs? And how am I going to bring that to life now moving forward?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
once
that's
and
amazing.
once you
And
start thinking that way too, your thoughts, it's just like you said in nature, you're following that path. It becomes a path of least resistance. So I know when
Mhm.
I started on this journey, I was like, I'm like, this doesn't always work out. Why am I like frustrated in this part of my life like all the time? And I had to choose, I'm not going to be frustrated. I choose to not believe that. And I'm going to believe the positive way instead. And it's like you said, that repetition. And then that becomes the path of least resistance. So when you're encountered with that thing, that new pathway, that new positive thought becomes your default mechanism. And I
Hmm.
know that there's some people that are listening and they're like, that's great, Sheena. That's great, Derek. That's great, Michelle. This sounds so lovely. Um, but once someone realizes, okay, you know what, I do see that there is some sort of mindset or this thing that I believe that I know is wrong, that is holding me back. Like, what's
Hmm.
the first step or what's something? And I, you know, it can be a lot. You'd be like, I want to change 100 things about myself. But where can someone even start once they recognize that there's something's off in their mindset?
Awareness. We
Mhm.
talked a lot about awareness last call, and it's, 95% of our thoughts and patterns and beliefs and all of that is subconscious. So the first step is, let's take an assessment and look and see what are all my beliefs and review them so that you can bring them from back here up here to the
Mhm.
front. And then from there you can review them and just look at it and simply say, is this supporting me or is it not? Do I want to carry this forward or do I not? And you can actually then have choice, because when you're operating off of your subconscious, you don't have choice. Your body and brain have taken over and it's just operating on autopilot, because that's what your brain does to keep you safe and to keep you functioning in the world.
Mhm.
And if you want to make that step into your conscious mind and make conscious choices and actually drive to the location you said you were going to drive, remember that story from
Oh, I
last
do. Yeah. I've done that.
you just have to review. So the first step I think for me is just taking like a mental or on a piece of paper, really truly, and asking yourself, what are my beliefs about money? What are my beliefs about my body? What are my beliefs about my
Mhm.
abilities? And just ask yourself, where did that come from? Did I learn that? Did someone tell me that? Do I believe that? Do I want to
Mhm.
believe that? And it's just like almost like a self-assessment
Yeah.
of your thinking.
Yeah, because and again, just to kind of like you guys are talking about, just to bring it into the practical, like what do you think are the people would be listening to this Zoom? Like what would be their kind of top maybe two, if you could speak to issues that they would be experiencing that might be holding them back? Like is there kind of two that you see come up more than others? Is it money? Is it, relationships? What are the kind of
What
steps to
about
make
you,
it
Derek?
practical?
What's something that you felt was like really holding you back or a belief that you had to work on?
Yeah, I
Would you
think.
be able to share?
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely want to hear from you guys, but if it was for me, it was a lot of times I feel like, when you go to move forward into something that's, like whether it's one of our new businesses or I remember even just putting out music, there's almost like a fear and I don't know what it was, but looking back, it was that subconscious thing where it's like, your subconscious mind is telling you like, this hasn't worked in the past, or I've seen all these other
Mhm.
people fail. So
Yeah.
yeah, like Michelle, you're saying your body like stops you from moving
Mhm.
forward. It's like you can't break through. And it's like I had to work on those and God helped me work through those and like understand those are false like beliefs and strongholds. Um, Another one that really comes to mind is I remember I knew this pastor, and they would always talk about how they're like, well, I'm a pastor, so I'm poor. I'm not like those guys. So we won't have money like that. And now that I look back, I mean, I heard that for many, many years from them.
Mhm.
When I
Yeah.
look back, they actually had the same opportunity as anybody else. Now that I know is to like invest in real estate, for instance, there was
Yeah.
amazing opportunity. But if you say that because of your job, you're limited and there's no
Mhm.
options, now we all know things start to come out like creative financing, all these crazy things that have
Mhm.
always been around. And there was people way back then, like this person is older than us, who took advantage of the opportunity, even though they didn't make more money at their job. They created a whole bunch of wealth for them. So those are two things that I think of.
Mhm. I mean, and that right there is an example of somebody who had inherited a
Yeah.
belief about their identity of being a pastor's son, and because of that, we're never going to have money. And that was
Mhm.
just their reality. And
Mhm.
the thing about reality is we see the world as we are. not as it is. And
Yeah.
we're always constantly creating reality. And I think that's the part that almost feels slightly frou-frou because you're like, wait, are you telling me that this isn't an apple or this isn't a phone? And it's like, no, I'm not saying that, but you have a belief set about how you see the world. And then that becomes the frame in which you live and operate.
Mhm.
And so I think one that go back to your question about
Mhm.
what are some of the things that are common? I feel like a lot of times it's, and I can speak for myself too, what always stops me is I don't have enough time
Yeah.
and I'm too old.
No, I'm
I
rejecting
know.
that one
How
hard,
old are you?
Michelle.
No, don't say
I
that.
was
I
Like,
doing, I was like,
I'm
no,
like, no,
no.
I'm like, okay.
One thing
no,
that my
but
kids, if they
If you're
want,
seriously,
too
for on a
old,
side note, one thing that my kids always tell me, they know how to butter me up. They're like, Mom, you look like you're 25. I'm like, stop. I'm like, I'll buy you anything. What do you want? What do you want from me? It's, you
yeah.
want to go to Disneyland? You got it. How young do I look now?
so good. Yes, but the whole time and just that I'm too old or that there's, there's too much time has passed. Those are two that are common. And I think the time one is it can be I don't have enough time, there's never enough time, or time is on my side. And the
Mm.
energy that comes between the two are completely different.
Mhm.
Oh, I see.
Like if I'm showing up from this belief set that time is on my side, even though it's the same reality situation about the amount of time that I have, if I know that time, or if I believe that time is on my side, then I know I'm going to have time to get everything done. And it may
Hmm.
not be everything today, but I will have the time to get it all done. Whereas if
Yeah.
I come to this game of life with this idea that there's never enough time, then there's never going to be enough time. I will
Yeah.
never get it all done. And then that's where that dissatisfaction starts to roll in, and then the
Hmm.
negativity starts creeping in, and then we're not able to do and fully fulfill what we have been put on this earth to do, whatever that is for each and every one of us. And then the I'm too old one was something that I picked up around the time of my divorce when I was about 29, 30. And I said it for like 5 years. And looking back now as a 44-year-old, looking back now, I'm like, why in the world was I walking around at the age of 29 and
Oh, you're
30
a baby.
that
You're
I'm too old? But that mindset held me back for 5 years.
wow.
That I'm too
Yeah.
old, I'm too old, I'm too old. And I switched it. I changed it. I created a new pathway of
Hmm.
that I am just getting started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
And again, like the totally different energy around that.
See,
I
that's,
guess
oh, sorry, good.
you can go ahead. I'm just thinking about the people that like, how do they even know? Like, how would they know that they're living out of something wrong? Or does it have to take that awareness, that willingness to change? Or is that person just going to stay in that cycle of saying, I'm too old, I missed it?
I think
You
it's
know,
this again, it's the awareness of well, let's look at your results because we talked about that model of thoughts,
results,
actions,
that's
feelings,
huge. That's
results.
true.
So
Yes.
let's look at your results. Are you happy with the results you're getting right now? No. Okay. So
Mhm.
what are your feelings about it? Let's reverse action it. Okay. So how are
Okay.
you feeling about it? Okay. Well, why do you feel that way? What are your thinking? What's your thinking? Because oftentimes those feelings are directed by an incorrect belief. So
Hmm.
if I'm feeling fear, worry, judgment, doubt, let's peel on the onion back and say, okay, where is that coming from? What's your belief about that? And then
Hmm.
from there, you can identify and say, okay, is that belief serving me? Is it helping me get to this result?
Yeah.
Or is that actually the block? Is that the thing in the way? And
Hmm.
you can assess like, okay, this belief has gotten me this result. So
Yeah.
I probably need to change it
Yeah.
Mhm.
or choose a different one. And
Yeah.
I mean, that was my journey of just recognizing the whole I'm too old. Like where is that? What is that doing for me? Where is that getting me?
Yeah.
What am I missing out on because I keep saying to myself that I'm too old. I'm not trying this thing, I'm not doing that thing, I'm not doing that. I'm feeling bad about this. And so that's where, again, you can just ask yourself if that's what it's just, again, it's bringing that subconscious to the conscious and then asking yourself, is that what you want? That,
Did you
and then
recognize that, or
allowing
did
your
somebody
choice.
point that out to you? That one specifically?
It was through a coaching program that someone asked me specific pointed questions,
Mm.
and then I had to workshop it on my own and really think about my own thinking.
Yeah.
and sit and do some like internal processing and internal, what's the word I'm looking for? Just, when you just review yourself, basically, reflection,
Mhm.
and think about things,
A
prayer,
performance review
a performance review of
for
yourself,
yourself.
meditation,
Yeah.
prayer, asking, listening, and then writing it all down, and then just
Yeah.
seeing it, bringing it to the
Yeah.
surface and looking and
Yeah.
saying, do I want chocolate or vanilla? Make a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's great, Mishelle.
Yeah, it's really good.
Amazing.
Actually, Sheena, I remember too, one thing we heard from a guy who, remember Antonio, that one conversation we had
Mhm.
where when we first, this is about 3 years ago, first started getting into everything that we're into now, more of the media side and marketing and
Yeah.
helping others and doing some consulting. And I remember I was feeling pretty insecure about it because we just didn't have like experience in some of the things we were getting into. And and I can't remember what I said. I just said something to that extent. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, you have no competition. There's no competition.
Mhm.
You are,
Yeah.
you're, and that really what spoke to me. I was like, you know what, that's right. And then I feel like
Mhm.
it developed more into the point where I realized I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I look a certain way, I talk a certain way, and I'm going to
Yeah.
appeal to a certain group of people specifically, and they're going to be my people. And you
Mhm.
guys the same. You're going to appeal, and some people are not going to resonate, and they're going to have. That's why there's going to be other people,
Yeah.
and that's why there's no competition. And how we got over that mindset was like really powerful. But it's just one quick thing, and it's like, oh, that's true, you know. And again, sorry,
Yes.
I want to jump back to Mishelle to what you were saying about when you're coming from the right place, like even when you talked about time. Do that if you believe you have enough time, then you're not in that frustration, and you're in it,
Mhm.
everything goes the right way. It is like how God designed us and talks about we have everything we need. So
Yeah.
when people are praying for God to give them something or trying to get
Yeah.
something, it's very frustrating because you actually already have it. It's operating from the place of I already have this. How do I
Mhm.
get it to come out from from the inside to the outside, right? So
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
I like
Yeah, absolutely. And I
There.
do think I do have a core belief though that it's also our jobs to uncover what these lies are.
Mhm.
Because we come into
absolutely.
this world, you are born into a family. That
Yeah.
family has a set of beliefs. That set of beliefs become your beliefs just because of exposure, consistent and
Yeah,
constant exposure.
Yeah.
And then, some of them are good, some of them are not good. And I don't even know if they're good, bad, or right, wrong, but some of them are true and some of them are incorrect. And some of them
I see.
and some of them are supportive and some of them are not. And some of them are yours and you want to carry it forward. And some are, hey, I don't actually want to carry that forward at all. That needs to
Yeah.
die right here. But I think
Yeah.
it's our job. I think it's our calling. It's our purpose to uncover those lies and get to the truth of who we are. Because that's when our gift, as we talked last time too, is when we can fully give our gift, which is what God has intended. That's what we're here to do, but we can't do it if we're going to continue to listen to the lies of the world. And we have to have that discernment. And the tools are there to help you, which will give you inside the community. And
Yeah.
it's a process. You have to do the work yourself.
yeah, that's huge. Yeah, you have to do the stuff.
Yeah. We
It's
can
a
Well,
only
it
take
lot.
you
doesn't.
so far.
I know, but
I,
it's a great journey. Like it's a great thing
It
to do. Like
is.
it's not a bad
It's
thing. Like I am
freeing.
so glad that I was able to just uproot some of those dirty little weeds that have grown in my life. And I don't have to believe that anymore. And I don't. And
You
my
don't.
there's a lot of my default mechanisms that have totally changed. And even in like Derek had said in the last 2 to 3 years, like I think differently. And I'm so
Yeah.
thankful for that. There's still
Is
things
there
I'm
one,
working
is
on,
there one
trust me.
specifically that has like that you can think of that's like, wow,
Oh,
this
it's gonna make
really
me
had a huge
cry.
breakthrough? Oh,
Oh,
okay.
man. I know, it's, like, very
It
sensitive, and
can
I
be
said I have a hard
emotional.
time I have a hard time opening up. A lot of it has to do with, like, I felt like I didn't deserve it. So even though
Mhm.
I was doing things, like, from the outside, like, "Oh, this is amazing," there was still that part of me that's like, "Well, I didn't feel, like, deserving of it." And so even the direction that I felt like I wanted to move in or even doing this podcast with you and doing this club with you, it's like, oh, you get those self-doubt, like, "Well, what do I have to offer people?" And just like Derek had said too, like, yeah, you're like, well, there's all those other people out there that are doing it. Like, what can I bring to the table? And just, yeah, like working on just feeling like I'm undeserving. Just
Yeah.
self-worth, I guess, would be probably a better way.
Self-worth. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I think what I'm hearing is the worth aspect of it, which is
Yeah.
for everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all been there. I think we all confront that every day.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is I think the biggest myth is, okay, then I'm just gonna do this exercise one time, I'm gonna write it down, and then
Yeah.
I'm good. I did it. I
Mhm.
did what you said. I changed my
Mhm.
beliefs. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. You have to choose it every single day, moment to moment, because self-worth beliefs are so hardwired. You can't change the hardwiring. You can
Mhm.
create a new pathway, but that belief of the unworthiness doesn't ever go away. It's just there. You, it will be easier because you've carved out that path, like you said, path of least
Mhm.
resistance. It'll be easier for you to go this way, but that other path is always available for you to go down. And
But I don't, yeah.
it's our job,
It's
like you
dried
said,
up
like you
now,
just don't do
Michelle. The river's not, the creek's not going that
it.
way.
Yes, and that to me is the epitome of leadership. And what you're doing in that moment is you are leading yourself. You are managing you and your thoughts, your choices, your reactions, your feelings, your and ultimately your results. And then that's you taking ownership of your life, which is a whole other powerful conversation we could have.
Yeah. I mean, for us, like we're Christians, we believe in Jesus and we have the Holy Spirit in us. But I actually, I, because I'm on social media, I see all kinds of people. Like I'm not just watching just Christians. Actually, the majority of the things I watch aren't Christian people, if we're being honest. And there is like fitness influencers or positive speakers, mindset coaches that actually aren't Christians, but they use the same principles where they say, write it down. What do I want to achieve today? Those small daily habits, and literally writing them down, looking at them, and they have seen success in their own life from
Mhm.
doing these principles. So if you're saying, yeah, that's great, that works because you're a Christian, it's like, well, it's God's principles can work for Christians and non-Christians. And it's
Mhm.
just seeing it over and over in repetition. So I don't know. It's a little tidbit I wanted to add it in. Tell me more about neuroscience and neuroplasticity, because I know that you're taking a course on this and I'm kind of a
Yes.
science dork too. And
I
I
know
love
it's
to
been
hear about
really
this.
fascinating. Well, I feel
So,
like I shared a lot so far, but it's just really fascinating to me about how, because
because
I've
it's not
been,
fluff. It's the real deal. It's
it's the real
really, it's
deal. Yeah.
activating the brain. They can, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
You talk.
So I've been, so my coaching certification is called Light Your Leadership, and it's more of what we just all talked about. It's about coming to awareness, living in choice, having the power of choice, making declarations, choosing your reality, creating your future and your legacy. And it's been incredibly powerful work for me. I really wanted to understand more of like, how is this working? Like, what is this? And I knew that people thought there were people out there in the world that were like, this is frou-frou, this is frou-frou, this is frou-frou. And I was like, well, let me just understand like the brain of it and like the science of it. And it's been really cool to just learn how it works and what we just talked about how the brain is hardwired. That's how we were created, and it's put there to protect us. The brain is not designed to make us happy. It's not its job to make us happy and to look for things that make us happy. Its job is to
What?
keep us safe.
No, my brain tells me I need Slurpees and ice cream. What are you talking about? That makes me happy.
Your brain is there to keep you safe. And if you think about that, and it's always, you're either in a threat state or a reward state. And like when you're in that threat state, you have a hard time having clarity and being able to create
Mm,
solutions for your life. And when you're in that
okay.
reward state, you're able to think clearly and think about your thinking and actually solve whatever issue is at front. But when we're in that threat state, we're all, riled up and we're just thinking about surviving. So the hardwiring is there. And again, I think I said this last time, but it's just the hardwiring is there. You can not change it, which was actually pretty mind-blowing to me because I thought you could, but you can't. You just create new pathways, and
Yeah.
that's that neuroplasticity is where you change. It's awareness and repetition, and just recognizing that you can change it through the spoken word, and that is the biggest gift. Um, that you can give yourself is to be able to just change that thought pattern. It's about interruption. That was the other, it's
Okay.
awareness, interruption, repetition. So it's like interrupting your pattern.
Mhm.
So just trying to find a way to interrupt yourself, I guess, from what you normally do.
And
That's
that's measurable, is it not? They've done brain scans and they can actually
Hmm.
see like the neural pathways and the activity and the
Yeah.
electricity,
Like
correct? Like
you
of a
could,
before and after. Yeah.
yes, you can actually change your brain.
Hmm.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
that's how we saw. Remember, I think I showed it to you, Sheena, but Ed Rush, he had a picture of real time, yeah, and how this new pathway was being connected through being basically, I released the lie that this is happening and I choose to believe this instead. And they
Yeah.
Yes.
showed the thing coming together, the new pathway, like in real time is crazy.
Ooh, that is
Pretty cool.
really cool. I don't think I've ever seen it come
I
together
gotta
in
show
one,
you.
but that
I'm
is
gonna find
Yeah.
it.
crazy.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry,
we're
just to
back.
give a starter point, I think the person, like that's what we're trying to understand is there's some people who they're not really happy with their life, but they just don't, they're not going to do anything at this point. Like they're
Yeah.
not problem aware. But I
Hmm.
remember for me, my thing was it was about 10 years ago. And I ended up, I was, in a room with a Christian celebrity. I won't say who it was, but he
Come
was like,
on. No.
he hadn't seen me for a few years. And
We
he's like,
know a
dude,
few Christian
he's
celebrities.
like, he's like, Derek, you're exactly like I remember you were. And it was like I hadn't seen him for 5, 6, 7 years. And for some reason, that hit me, and I was like, what the heck? I'm the same. I'm like, I think have I not like, because he was doing great things, and I was like, am I like not, I don't want to be the same person that I was when I
Oh,
was
I
like
remember now.
21.
I remember who it was. Sorry. Keep
And
going. Yeah.
it put me into a thing. I started waking up at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and seeking God to find out. I'm like, what am I like? I don't think I'm living the life I'm supposed to live. And I was actually kind of not super happy with everything
Yeah.
at that time too. And it set me on a path that totally changed my life. But it's like I was kind of unhappy. And then that comment pushed me into like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to figure this out. So,
It
anyway,
struck
sorry.
a
Go ahead,
chord.
Michelle. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say that comment was your interruption.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
it's
Totally.
like you had some awareness of this unhappiness and unfulfillment that you were feeling. That comment was the interruption, and then you were able to make the shift. And then you continued it through the repetition. So yeah, that would be a great thing. And then sometimes those interruptions come on a whim. You can't really control it, but there are ways for you to, I'm trying to think of a way you could try to find an interruption. You may have to just create that interruption for yourself.
Right.
Hmm.
I think just getting so miserable. You're like,
Yeah.
I hate this. And
That
that's what
too.
I think there
That
are,
too.
that's the thing. It's like maybe that today will be like some people will be like, yeah, actually, I am so unhappy, but I didn't realize I could actually do anything about it. And like we
Yeah.
talked about at the start, all of a sudden, oh, these guys are talking about like I can actually I can do something different. That's crazy. And maybe that'll
Yeah.
be their interruption. So
And Derek, we talk about this too. Instead of making a massive commitment that feels like, how am I ever going to get to the finish line? We always say, just try it for 30 days. Just try it for 30 days.
100%,
Put out that list
100%.
of 10 things, those positive statements. Maybe it's your health, maybe like it's finance, write all the things like I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am active, I have great friends. Like write all the things that you want and try it for 30 days and speak them out, not just read them every day. And anytime you have a thought that contradicts what's on that list, sorry, pull the list out. It can be in your pocket and say it and just hit that thing. I think about it as
Yeah.
like when you're in a boxing match. You put
Hmm.
those boxing gloves on and you have to fight for those
You
proper
do.
thoughts.
You do.
And for me, when I really dove into this was now probably 10 years ago now. Yeah, where you just have these like miserable thoughts. And it's like, ugh, like just stop it already. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to stop, but I didn't have the understanding of how to do it. And I don't know, it must have been the Holy Spirit that's like, hey, you don't have to think that. Like, think the other thing. And every time that thought would come, I'd be like, no, I believe this. I'm blessed. God has my best for me. Like you speak it out and you say it out loud and you put your boxing gloves on and you fight for it. And
Yeah.
Yes, Sheena, that's exactly what it is. And that's what you do. That's the practice. The
yeah,
thought comes up because it's hardwired, so it's going
yeah,
to arise. You know it's there. You have to have that conscious awareness to recognize, I already know that that's not what I want to be thinking. So I'm going to think this thing. And it's just like you said, you put on your boxing gloves, you have your list of things that you can easily grab. But that's why it's so important to write down your new chosen thoughts
Mhm.
so that you can easily grab them, because this one is so hardwired and memorized
Yes.
that you need your other. It's almost like, when you have a song that you know and it turns on and you can sing it, or you hear the music.
Spice World came on the other day. My kids heard Spice World. I'm like, people of the world, Spice it up. And I'm like, whoa.
You're like, where did that even come from? How do I even
It
know
was
every word to this?
hardwired.
But you hardwired it
Yeah.
in. So and then, so if you want to start singing a new song, you're going to have to walk around with your lyrics, your sheet
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
until
That's
you've
good.
learned it, until you've
That's a
learned the
good way to
song,
put it. Yeah, that's a good way.
right? Like walk around with your sheet music
Yes.
until and then you have to practice it. So go
Yeah,
to band practice every day and go practice it
that's awesome.
and sing your new song. Sing your new song
Yeah.
until
That's
you've memorized and you've embodied it. And that everyday choice, the moment to moment choice, the second it pops up, you choose it again. It pops up, you choose it again. It pops up, you choose it. That's the
Mhm.
work. That's the practice. That's the leadership. That's you being the leader of yourself. And that's you starting to really listen to you and not the lies of the world. So
Mishelle, solid gold. Derek, isn't she just, she's a
it's
10 out of 10
amazing.
this one.
I love
Derek, I
this.
have an idea for you. You need to write a positive mindset song. And
We'll
for a
see.
community
yes,
member.
that we can all memorize and
Yeah,
sing along
exactly. There you
to.
go.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like when you're like in,
We need a true North
in
song.
kindergarten, right? It's like, here, we got a song for you. It's all good.
Legit
It's all
though.
good.
That's how you, that's this, the more basic the better. I want it to be palatable.
Totally,
No, you
totally.
can do it.
That's
Let's
awesome.
get down to the studio, babe.
There you
Snoop
go.
Dogg has an affirmation playlist, just so you know.
Does he? Wow, look at
Yes.
that. That's amazing. Well, I'll have to
It's
outgrow
it's
the.
for kids. It's for kids, and it's like a whole affirmation.
That's awesome.
It's really cute. Yeah.
Snoop, just he keeps giving to the world, I appreciate it.
There you go. That's awesome.
Okay, I feel like there's just so much because we have like our business acumen. Mishelle, we talked a little bit last week too. Just give us some of your background so people know, yeah, like what have you done? I know we look like we're 25, but we have wisdom beyond our years because this community isn't not necessarily only for mindset. Mindset is like step one. Get your thinking right, get your direction right. It's for people that feel stuck or maybe for high performing women, high achieving women that feel stuck in an area of their life, how to unlock that and to start their new thing. So I know for me and for some of our listeners, like I have a clothing company. I've done that for
Mhm.
10 years. We make everything ethically in Vancouver. Actually, we're running a clothing promotion. So for those of you watching now, um, I brought some stuff out. So we have our cute little baby sweaters, mama sweatpants. There's an exclusive discount. So you need to be on the email list because we're going to be running promotions every week that you can access through that. Everything's made in Vancouver, and that is the birthplace of Lululemon. So you get Lululemon high quality gear for yourself and for your children. And then before that, I was a school teacher. So just so like we have like all these kind of skill sets together. And then, yeah, Derek, tell us about you because we're going to be bringing business. We're going to be bringing just so much coming at you in this community.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, my main thing was I started off really in music and was blessed enough to go down to Nashville and record some albums and do some touring and do some really fun stuff. That was amazing. And then obviously we got into our other companies, and construction is one of them where we do, quite a large volume, into the eight figures. And so there's a lot of learned a lot there for sure from, taking a project like we talked about before from basically a napkin sketch that someone is dreaming of and says, hey, this is what I want. Can you make it happen? And you have to do it on budget and on time. And these projects get really, really large. A lot of people involved, but that's where I learned a lot of the business skills that I have today. And then, of course, with North Kinder, learning a completely different side of the world where it's marketing and email marketing and social
Yeah.
media and working with celebrities and all the stuff that's a totally different world that's totally almost feels opposite. And yeah, now obviously we've moved into some AI stuff and
Yeah.
just helping other businesses with consulting. And yeah, it's been incredible. So that's my
Well, Derek,
background.
you write your own music. You got to tell people about that. If you go on the website, Derek actually wrote some songs. He has self-titled albums under Derek Steinbrenner that are sleep songs. So we use these on our
Oh,
kids.
I
They're like
love that.
calming guitar because he's recorder.
It actually works incredible.
Oh,
It is amazing. They're
I
like
mean,
I'm
computer.
I
trying
like
it.
feel like we
I'm
forget about
trying it
that.
You
tonight.
Okay,
Trying
we'll
it
should.
send
tonight.
it to you.
It's wild.
Maybe we'll
It
put it in the
actually.
comments on our YouTube channel here as well. You can get those sleep songs. And everything's free. And so, and it was out of that too. Yeah, we have a beautiful studio space, and he writes just magical music. We pass that on to our kids too. So,
It's awesome.
yeah, tell us more about you, Mishelle.
My background is in retail operations. I've done that for about 20 years. So high volume retail leadership, retail operations. Before that, I owned two health food restaurants, sandwiches, salads, wraps, and smoothies. I would never do food again. It was so hard.
To me,
It
it
was
looks
so
very
hard.
hard. Yeah.
I started it from scratch, from the ground up. I was 25, had
Wow.
no idea what I was doing. Actually heard a guy on NPR talking about opening up a restaurant in the recession, and I was like, oh, I need to talk to him. So I called him on the phone, met him at his restaurant, and I begged him to help me get started. And he looked at me like I was crazy because here I am, just like this 25-year-old, bright-eyed, like young, very naive girl saying I want to open up a restaurant. And he thought I was crazy. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I had two locations and then got out of that and started working for Lululemon, actually.
That's
Love,
so cool. Like I learned that about you just recently. That's so
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and I loved my time there. I absolutely loved it. It was um, a huge blessing for me at that time in my life because I was going through the divorce. I was feeling lost all over the place. And Lululemon taught me the tools I really needed to get clear about like all the mess and all the munk. And I got a lot of leadership tools there. And so I learned a lot there, and then started working for Magnolia, which is a really fun brand out here in Waco, Texas. So that's where I'm living now. And yeah, just really enjoyed being a part of retail and retail operations. Love shopping. I feel like I always tell people I'm a professional shopper, actually.
Called Magnolia Disneyland for adults.
Yes.
It feels
Yeah.
everything's
It's
just
an
so
amazing
perfect
place.
and clean and
My background is in retail operations. And I have a skill set in logistics and operations and sales and business ownership and operations, but my passion and my purpose is really around leadership and identity leadership specifically,
Mhm.
and coaching. So that's what I do now.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. And
Mhm.
I thought, Sheena, you said we're wrapping it up, but I was going to say, Michelle, have you heard of Tim Hortons ever?
No.
Tim
Uh-uh.
Hortons, anyways, Tim Hortons is like the go-to Canadian company for donuts, coffee, or whatever. And every year they have this thing called roll up the rim to win. And so you literally roll up the little rim here.
Uh-huh.
I tried to
With your
pre-do it a little
teeth.
bit.
Oh, here we
Okay.
go. Did
Gotta
you win?
chew
So
Did
on
we
that.
win?
I won a
Did
coffee.
you win the car, babe?
Where am I
Oh,
going? Can you see that? So I won a coffee. Seriously, I bought like the last 6 coffees I bought, I've won like 4. It's amazing.
Nice.
So anyway, so you
Congrats.
got to experience
you're on a roll.
You're
we're
a,
on a
you're
roll.
a winner.
Exactly. Okay. What a great way to wrap it up. Roll up the win. Roll up the
Roll up
win.
to win, adopt a winning mindset.
Exactly.
Derek, you'd think that Tim Hortons like endorses us or something, but
They don't endorse us. This podcast is not sponsored by Tim Hortons.
Maybe the next one.
Maybe the next one, Tim's.
well,
Take it.
Tim Hortons, they had something called the Tim Beebs. Yeah, the Tim Beebs.
Oh, yeah, Tim Beebs. Tim Beebs.
Like
Yeah.
after Justin Bieber, he developed his own Timbit instead of calling it Tim Bits. It was a Tim Beeb. It's like I'm speaking another language. Sorry,
It's
Michelle.
like,
I
it's
don't know
not.
what you're
She's like,
talking
it
about.
makes no sense.
Actually, Kate, you know what's really funny is we had Justin Bieber's mom order Tim Biebs at Tim Hortons, and no one had any idea who she was. I was like, Patty, go up to the
You
counter
at
and
least
order.
have to tell them.
I'm like, order Tim Biebs, and they're like, do you have Tim Biebs? And I filmed it and everything, and they're like, what are you talking about, lady?
Did
Like,
she?
you're crazy.
Did she
She
post
did
that?
it. Yeah, I
Okay.
have the video.
It's so funny.
She's
That's
so
so
funny, Patty. She's hilarious. But yeah, they
Oh,
didn't
Patty.
even know they were talking to the Tim Biebs mom, and they just glossed right over it.
No, this has been amazing. I'm glad you guys had me on as the special guest. I feel very
Yes,
special.
thanks for coming.
There's no one specialer. We need our special
Okay.
guest back. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And again, if you want to subscribe, which you should, you're missing out. It's in the club. In the club is where it is happening. Go to northkinder.com. There's a link there to sign up for the True North Club. You can also sign up through my Instagram page or Instagram page at North Kinder. There's a link in bio there. And you can go to Michelle's Instagram page. Go ahead, Mishelle.
Yes, my Instagram at the Mishfit. And you can find the link in the bio there too.
Awesome.
Yeah. All goodness.
All right,
Okay.
thanks,
Well,
guys.
thanks. And yeah, see you next time.